Hey, so I just want to do a quick, I'm just going to do 3 cards, I think, for Neptune going direct. Neptune goes direct on the 28th of November of 2020, after being in retrograde for a while. Neptune is in the sign of Pisces. It has been in the sign of Pisces since 2012. And it will be until 2026. And so Neptune in Pisces is in its home sign, right? So Neptune is all about those things that we feel more easily than we speak them, right? It's that nebulous, liminal kind of energy, the in-between, right? The interstitial, the intersection, those places between where things are a little bit blurry, and we like it that way. So as Neptune is in Pisces, which rules also that same kind of energy, right? It's about reality, right? It's about the difference between concrete and abstract reality. And it's about our spiritual connections. It's about our hopes and our dreams, which is quite beautiful. And now that Neptune is direct, we might find it more simple to be in touch with that energy, that connection, that alignment. It may have been challenged over the last few months that Neptune has been retrograde. So the other thing that Neptune asks us is to really, really be aware of our beliefs, right? And where our beliefs become our beliefs or become our structure, right? Because again, we know that Neptune doesn't really enjoy structure. We know that Neptune likes to be in the flow. He is the king of the sea, right? He is Poseidon. And so our feelings are in charge here, which is quite lovely. However, there is that challenge when we're talking about beliefs, right? Because beliefs are generally a thing that we want to be factual. We want to be proven, right? We want to have data to back up our beliefs. Well, some things you just have to feel, right? And how do we do that? We do that through alignment. We do that through alignment and, of course, we do that through alignment and connection with Source. And that is a thing that cannot be quantified or created in terms of data or a thing upon which you base your beliefs. So as we run through the way that we feel our need to believe in something, whether it's a higher power, whether it's Source, whether it's Creator, whether it's simply yourself, right? Or your own ability to be in creation or to be in power. There has to be a basis for that, right? And so we are, of course, always constantly seeking the foundation of ourselves or our belief structure, and we say it as belief structure, right? Like that's a thing, we can build it. Well, I mean, you can if there's a logical A to B then C then D, but sometimes there isn't. And sometimes you just have to connect and be in alignment with whatever feels right for you. And in our world, that is a challenge simply because we like data, right? We like things we can prove. We like things that we can say yes or no to. And sometimes that liminal space is a challenge. So, as Neptune goes direct, so we've got the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Wands. The 9 of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment, right? This is really being in alignment with what you feel, what you know, what you believe, and what you can manifest, right? And how do we manifest powerfully? We manifest most powerfully through what we feel. Why? Because that's where our power lies, right? We've also got the Ten of Wands, which is about being burdened, right? Knowing what to put down and knowing what to pick up, knowing where we get bogged down and where we can lighten our own load, where we are overwhelmed and where we can be in creation. Those are important, right? So we have the King of Wands and the Four of Wands. So many wands, Neptune, so many. So the King of Wands is about being in control of one's inspiration and passion, of knowing the power one has to create, right? And again, we just talked about this. Neptune is a source of creation. And one of the reasons that Neptune is such a big source of creation is because our unconscious mind, right? Our subconscious mind is the most powerful creative force in our personal universe. And so if we are not in the presence of minding our minds, what happens is that we create things we might not really want to create. We create things that we might not have intentionally created. And then we wonder, oh, how did we get here? How did this happen? And then quite often in that blend of concrete and abstract reality, we become uncomfortable in the center point. And so we try to escape our own realities that we've created. And how do we do that? Neptune and Pisces rule escapism, right? Whether it's drugs or alcohol or sex or shopping or running or working, anything you do in abundance to the detriment of something else, or that you do as an escape mechanism, becomes your addiction, becomes your mode of escape. And that is also Piscean and Neptunian, right? The Four of Wands is a gateway, right? The Four of Wands is celebration. It's knowing that my inspiration is fulfilled. It's about celebrating my inspiration, the manifestation of my inspiration, right? It's about knowing what I have available to me because I put things down. So I know what is available. The Two of Cups, divine love, absolutely 100%. It's about union, right? It's about blessed union. It's about divine union. There is no higher card than the Two of Cups when you're talking about the divine union in purity, right? In that one and one makes three, because we know that the liminal space between two people is the intersection of them. That space is that Neptunian space, that direct space. And how we experience it. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is about mastery. It's about craftsmanship. It's about working at understanding that space in the middle. And whether or not that is a physical space or an emotional space or a mental space or a spiritual space, any space between two things is Neptunian, right? Any space between two anythings. So every time you interact with a thing, you create that third option. You create that Neptune space simply by your observance, right? And so as we work to master that space, we're in that Neptunian space. And so we get to be moved by our emotions. We get to be driven by what we feel. We get to be in full presence of our manifestation as our emotion, right? And that's a beautiful thing. Tick-tock. Number 30, we get a 3 right there. Let's check it out. Let's see. Let's see what the Oracle has to say. Timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. How very Neptunian. When humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire. So release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time, which is exactly what we've been talking about, right? In terms of that divine space, right? That divine in between. Keep your circle tight. So in terms of circles, we're talking about, specifically, we're talking about your sphere of influence. And because Neptune is vulnerable, right? Neptune is vulnerable to the projection of others, right? It's that place where we are the most influenceable, where we are the most swayable, where we are the most malleable, right? So if you're not keeping your circle tight, then you are opening yourself up to the influence of anything and everything outside of your sphere. So if you want your wish fulfillment, if you want to be able to put down what you don't want, if you want to know what you are inspired by, if you know how you want to manifest and celebrate your life, if you know how you want to be as love and loved, if you know how you want to craft your life in light of that love, then you allow divine timing. You allow for your own alignment. And you do that by keeping your circle tight, by curating your experience and your energy, right? It's very easy to become influenced by. It's very easy to allow for someone else's beliefs to become our own. It's very easy to be led, right, instead of leading. It's very easy to allow influences outside you to create your reality. Instead, create them from within, right? That's where that Neptunian plateau of creation lies, in that magic of our emotions. Keep your circle tight. Pay attention to divine timing, because that is the heart of your creation. Neptune is your key, right? You need other things outside you. You need inspiration. You need materials. You need practice. But what you need in the primary is, how do you feel? What do you need to put down, right? What do you want to bring into your life? How do you want to do it? Where and how do you want to be loved? In what areas of your life do you feel like you deserve that? And how are you going to work to get it? Who are you going to ask to help you? Who are you going to bring into your life to help you co-create? That alignment is important. It's critical, especially for Neptune, because Neptune is all about bringing that higher energy in and standing in your own power within it as a channel for it in that third space. So as Neptune goes direct, be. Don't think it's too surreal. It's not. You can create it if you really desire it. So be in alignment with it, and then believe it, know it, in the concrete and the abstract, right? That's how we get change. That's how we bring our dreams into reality. Yep. Happy Neptune Direct. Big blessings.